Here I am. I was pregnant. I was really happy. It's like this child changed my whole thing. And here I am. I'm too much. 2 weeks pregnant. I went and started going to the market looking for clothes. Paying for clothes for child. Have you ever had assurance it's going to be a boy? Until my sister like, why buy the clothes earlier? I'm like, hi, I feel happy. Because when things could be bad at home, the only thing I could focus myself is the child. Sometimes we go, I take him to Kesha. Have you ever had like, in the midst of all the storm, in the midst of all the pain, it's like something comes in your life and changes the whole thing. Yeah. So here he comes. One time he goes to Miro. He comes back without a ring. Yeah. So sometimes he will come home without a ring. Sometimes the ring is in the pocket. So I'll be like, where is the ring? Oh, I forgot it. I was washing my hands. I put it inside there. Yeah, different perfume as always. So I knew he's still cheating. And guess what? I'm pregnant. How am I supposed to go? Most of the time I could be like, oh, I want to go. Sometimes I could pack my clothes. I'm ready to go. But guess what? I ask myself, do I want my child to grow up without a father? I want my child to have what I had. Do I want to be a single mother for 5 months now? I was like, no. Sometimes I could unpack my clothes. Sometimes I could meet the bag and never had the idea. Babe, where are you going? I'm like, no, because I'm taught I was packing. Here I am. In the middle of everything, I found joy with my child. Most of the time, I could go to my sister's place. I come back. I look for names. Have you ever seen someone? Though I'm excited, is not the way he's excited. Babe, which name do you feel like? Do you call the child? It's like, what told you is a boy? Like, no, I just know he's a boy. And he's like, oh, you know, it can be a girl. I'm like, me, I don't care. Be it a boy, be it a girl, whoever is inside there. I just like fell in love with the pregnancy. So man, here I am. He was still cheating. But so what am I supposed to do? Yeah, I sat down. I decided to stay and keep my child and raise my child. Then every time I'm like, when he does this, I'm going. When he does this, I'm going. And get lost. He could still do it and I'm still there. So this time, it was on a Friday. It was on a Sunday. That time I was like 1 month. I was like 3 weeks pregnant. So I didn't feel like going to church. Could vomit a lot. Nausea. You know how the first trimester is. So I'm like, I don't feel. At the point he was ministering in our church. He has become a present worship leader there. So this time I didn't feel like going to church. I'm like, I don't feel well. Let me just stay at home. So I stayed at home. Actually, it was the 1 month in pregnancy. Here he comes, as always, cooking, cleaning, doing everything. At this time, there is a place, a friend of mine, a family friend, he called me when he had. I'm working at my sister's chemist. He's like, hey, Emma, because I told her I'm pregnant. Like, hey, Emma, hey, there is this friend of mine. You don't even have to do anything. He wants you to manage him, the shoe shop. There's employed people and everything. You'll just be looking how everything is running. I'm like, how much is it paying? He told me around. I'm like, are you sure? I'm like sitting there all day, doing nothing and I'd be paid. For me, I found it's a nice deal. Yeah, so I took the deal. But now this time, so I'm already pregnant. It reached a point I could not even go to work. Could feel bad. So I'm like, let me talk to Jose because he's doing nothing. I give him this opportunity and with ministry, I'm sure he'll bring some money at home. My side, after 1 trimester is done, first trimester, I have papers. I can always look for work and find. I went home. And I'm like, I haven't been feeling well. I haven't been going to work. I've been thinking, what if you take that job? You at least be doing something. Myself, I look for another job. After this first trimester, it's done. Mano, he looked at me in the face and he told me, mi siwezi fanya kazi kama hizo. Siwezi kaa place moja nifanye anything. I'm not going to do that. So I'm like, so you cannot like cover for me at work. This is the only work we are looking forward. This is the only work that is paying the bills. Sometimes you could do posters. Maybe there was a worship experience somewhere. Could do posters. So this time I'm coming to serve my guy. He's doing posters, but I've never seen this guy do a personal poster. Like take your picture, write, oh, you look good, you do this, you do that. I never saw him. He did me poster one time when we were dating with my picture in it. He wrote some sweet message. So I'm saying he's doing a poster, but now it's not like a worship experience poster. I saw the lady. She was half naked. Like then when he saw me, he could do the laptop design, and yet the laptop is mine. He's doing the posters with. So I was interested. What is this guy hiding? Yeah, so here I am. I saw the lady. So I'm like, who is this? Like, oh, it's a lady we met in your church, where now we were worshiping. I told her what you do. Now I'm looking for money, this and this. I'm like, I've never seen you do posters before. Oh, I do. They pay me 500 per poster and this and this. I'm like, okay. So I got a close look at the lady. Then I saw the words. The words was a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised, beautiful, to do what and that. So when I looked at it, I'm like, did you not do me such a poster? It's like, no. I've never. I went to the Google, I'm like, this is it. So the words was just his pickup lines. They're like, oh, I didn't know. I'm like, exactly, you know what you're doing. Because if you have mastered these words, meaning that's how you show your interest to women, maybe to win them out. Oh, I didn't know, could not have done this. Even I'm going to delete. I just looked at him, I'm like, no need, but I don't know. My spirit does not like this. Like, baby, overthinking, there is nothing. I'm like, how do you tell me there is nothing? It's the same thing you did for me when we were dating. In marriage, you're doing the same thing for someone else. Now it's not even me. Yeah, so we talked about it. I'm like, imagine I don't like this. Man, here we are. It's on a Tuesday. Come now on Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, come on Sunday. This round I didn't also go to church. I remember the brother is the one who went to church. Joseph had gone to a different church to minister. He wasn't in our church. And so here we are. I called him. He told me at 1, we'll come back at home after ministry. So I was like, what can I cook for you? This and that. Yeah, suggested the meal. I cooked the meal. Yeah, he's at 1. I'm calling him. The phone is on. At 2, the phone is off. Not picking up the phone. Now it's no longer picking. His phone is off. Phone is off 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I hear the knock at the door. So when he comes back, he's coming smiling. I'm like, hi, are you okay? Like, oh yeah, so I welcome him because I'm like, why didn't you like pick up my call? And how comes your phone was off? Like my phone is still off. He forgot and yeah, he pressed the power button. I'm like, your phone is on. So why are you saying it's off? No, I had charged it somewhere. I'm like, whatever you're saying and whatever is there, it's not running to the reality of your phone. And so he is. I'm like, you told me you'll come at lunchtime, but you're coming now. What's happened? Where did you go? Oh, my pastor said we can stay for a little bit at church. We had a meeting. I'm like, that meeting, there is a friend of yours I called. He's like, there is no meeting. So for me, I'm like, where did you go, Jose? Tell me, where did you go? I'm like, yeah, I went this. I'm like, then why are you lying? And she went to see his friend's Davy. I think I told you had an habit of hiding his phone. But then I took the phone, I pressed the password and I put Wi-Fi on. So a message popped. I'm like, bro, nakuleta. I'm bringing you the phone in the table room. So we went back to the table room. Here we are. Yeah, I just went through WhatsApp and the first thing I saw when the message was popping, I saw the lady has done a post tattoo. The Tuesday. So I saw the lady she had posted as a profile. So I pressed. Hey, Manu. I'm telling you, there was just one message. The rest of the message, they were deleted. This lady, she sent the message around 9 in the morning. Was it around 9? No, around 3, somewhere there. So the message read, oh, I like your chest. Yeah, you have good hands. I love it when you do this, when you do that. Yeah, the pictures you send me, they're hot, but they're not hotter than your body. And I remember I went to the bedroom and I sat down. That time I'm 1 month pregnant in some days. And so I sat down, I read the whole thing. Closing the other, I see the rest of the message, nothing. I deleted everything. So my question was, so yeah, he was here having a good time. Comes to the bedroom, I'm like, what is this? It, baby, is not as you think. It's not as you see. I'm like, okay, well, you tell me, what does this message reply? What does it say? She says, she loves your body. Where did she see your body? She's appreciative for good. What good time did you have with her? Babe, it's not as you think. I'm like, no, this is exactly what I think. And exactly what happened. I'm like, where are the rest of the messages then? Even to justify yourself so much, where's the rest of the messages? It is she deleted. I'm like, am I so stupid? Whereby, Manu, if I send you a text, I can delete from my side, but I cannot delete yours as long as you reply. It's like, no, she has kept timeline. I'm like, where's the timeline? Stop, like, taking me around. You read the message for yourself and explain it to me. At this point, Manu, have you ever had, you cannot even catch your breath? This was the second time I now started losing breath. There is a time, sometimes back, like 3 months in 3 months in marriage, we had an argument. Out of nowhere, I started losing breath. I was rushed to the hospital. And I was told stress. Now, here I am. I started kind of losing breath. I'm like, you're telling me it's not as it is, then explain to me better. I could not say anything. I'm like, then she has replied. She has texted you, then reply. Guess what he did? Took his phone and replied, it's well understood. So my question is, what is well understood? Like in front of you, you can write what is well understood. Is it well understood she loves your body? Is it well understood you look perfect for her? Is it well understood that you guys had a good time? Is that well understood? I'm like, no, I don't know. You have to call. I've never asked you to do this before, but call this lady and wake a loudspeaker. It's like, I don't have credit in this. And I'm like, let me send you. He's like, no, I don't want your credit. Sent the number, I took the number, and I called the lady, but not loudspeaker. He's like, hi, I'm Joseph, and I'm with my wife here. So myself, I'm like, why alert her you're with your wife here? Why can't you put the loudspeaker? He's like, no, I don't want. He started doing his neck this way. I don't want. So I took the phone and I put a loudspeaker, holding it. Then he's here, he's talking to her. Have you ever, like, he's begging her not to say something? Like, I'm trying to tell talk like my husband. You see the way you talk here at home? Like boldness. Why talk to her, Siv? Unampembeleza, why do that? Like, oh, I'm like, stop saying, give me the phone. I took the phone. I asked the lady, what is this? What is happening? Why are you appreciating my husband? What did she do for you to appreciate her? She's like, I'm sorry. You're sorry for what? You have to be sorry about something. I'm sorry. I'm like, please say something. She keeps on being sorry. I'm like, what are you sorry about? What did you do? Or what are you guys to do together? And then the lady told me, I'm sorry, I cannot explain it, but I guess you know. Have you ever, like, you already have the clarity, but you're looking for more clarity? Just got off the phone. I sat down. So he's here apologizing, begging me. I'm sorry this, I'm sorry I did that. I'm apologizing for this. I'm sorry we shared pictures. You did what? No. And when I became mad, I shut. I went to the bathroom to cry. I had a shower crying. Out of nowhere, I noted I'm bleeding. So here I called him. Like, I'm bleeding. At the point, I started losing breath. I started shaking. And he's there trying to get me out of the bathroom to dress me up. And yeah, I called my sister. They came. They rushed me to the hospital. So I went to the hospital. I'm losing breath. Could like catch my breath there. So I was doing some tests, some scans and everything. Then we were called in by the doctor. They said this was a missed pregnancy. That means I was near to get a miscarriage, but I didn't. So he called us in. They're like, we have checked your body. Your hormones and everything is okay. But what happened before you got this? You losing breath because the breath was 96. The heartbeat and everything. This is very low. It's supposed to be 200 and something. 190 to 200. What happened? Something has might happened to trigger the whole pressure and everything going down and you losing breath. So I explained. Joseph was there. The doctor was, you guys, whatever is happening at home, it is affecting your wife and it's affecting your child. So go home and fix things. So here we are. We went home. My sister, they're like, what's happening? I'm like, oh, yeah, well, I nearly fell down. Because that's the only thing, another thing that could have explained it. But I didn't fall. Went home, has always become the good husband 2 days. He's back to factory resetting. Getting home. Remember, it was the 3 days after pregnant, after tumetoka usi. Within that week, I now started bleeding. Clots and everything. So for me, I'm like, what's happening? So I could tell him. I'm telling him, I'm like, we need to go to the hospital. He doesn't want me to go to the hospital. He's like, we don't have money to pay to the hospital. So I'm like, should I die? Like, let me call my family, tell them. He's like, no, I'm going to fix this. He's here calling nurses, asking them, like, my wife, she's doing this, then that. They're sending me to buy paracetamol I take. I'm like, are you being serious? This is not like, even myself, I cannot handle this case. I'm a medic, but I cannot handle it. Then you're calling me nurse. Are you even being serious? I'm like, this one need a professional. He's like, oh, I'm looking for money, everything. So he's here buying me Panadol. I'm like, these things I'm not supposed to take. So he's there. He doesn't want me to go anywhere. He wants me to stay there until I saw here I will die, Manu. I saw this guy. If there is one thing maybe he's aiming at, I bleed to death, I die. And I'm like, no. Oh, my sister. I'm like, are you home? I'm coming. No, I boarded a Uber. I went to my sis. Then my friend, before I go to my sis, I wanted to go to my sis. My friend called me, like, come, we have a specialist, he looks you out. I went to the specialist. The doctor, he was a doctor CEO. Looked at me, he's like, oh, you relax. This is stress. Relax. You go home and relax. I didn't go because I know I will die. Went to my sister bleeding, having cramps, headache. That time I've lost weight. I'm around 48 kgs. So my family saw me, my sister, she was surprised. She called my dad. She told my dad what happened. And then my dad is like, take her to the hospital. You guys will let me know. I'm on my way to Nairobi. I'm coming. So my sis called the husband. The husband is like, I'm coming. I'm on my way. I'm like 20 minutes away. Takes us to the hospital. That time I reached in my sister's was around 7. That time is around 8 something. Out of nowhere, I'm seeing our best couple coming in. My sister's place with Joseph. They're like, what's happening? So for them, they're like, what is happening? Why were you not told? I'm like, Joseph told you. But Joseph never told them anything. So them is like, this situation is bad. Why didn't you say? I'm like, my husband told me, he has told you guys. It's like, no, we never knew. He's calling us right now. So for them, they were like, they were really disappointed. We go through this for 3 days because they were like, what if you die? So my sister, they took our best couple's vehicle. We went to a hospital here called, a very nice hospital. Ohainema. I went there. And the first thing they took me as emergency. Take me everything, going for scans, seeing a specialist. Yeah, so until I was stable, medications and everything, that time I could not even feel myself. Have you ever, like, even if you cannot even understand where you are? So, yeah, they stayed there until the next morning is when our best couple and my sisters, they went home. And then just I was called. And hi, we were told me and the child were at risk. And they've tested everything. We're okay. Pregnancy has been okay, but now the heartbeat, it's 46. The child's heartbeat. And they're like, when I have stress, this is what is happening. So you try to figure out, you call another doctor to ask what's happening at home. Because you saw the guy with the ring. So you're like, oh, you guys, I see the ring is new, you're newly married. Okay, I'm newly married. So they sat us down, like counseling, telling us the impact of me having stress at this time, the impact of a lot of pressure. Then he was asked what's happening at home. Yeah, you know, you can let's say himself, I'm like, my guy is cheating and that is what is affecting me. So he was talked about that. Then he's like, doctors, I'll never do it again. Never do it again. This is something I've regretted. I was told I cannot go home. I need to be fully stable until the bleeding stops. So I stayed at the hospital like a week. Now here, there is something hard that was there for me. They took me to a maternity ward. It was a maternity ward, and I remember this guy came with a wife, and he went to deliver, and they were really happy. Like everyone was coming there to deliver, and I'm there trying to save my child. I remember asking God, like, why does this have to happen? Until I called and asked him, like, you guys take me to another ward, because I felt the pressure is too much. People are here, you can see how their husband is caring for the wife. That time my husband haven't even called.